Hi students, I welcome to all of you to this session of fluid mechanics. Dear students, you know that last few classes we have taken lot of class, that means on fluid mechanics, introduction of fluid mechanics, then what are the properties of fluid, then we discuss about the fluid static, where the different condition were discussed when the body is submerged in water. Okay, when it is vertical, when it is horizontal, when it is inclined. Lot of things I discussed last class. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about the fluid static. It is also under fluid static module 2, fluid static part, and today we will be discussing about the buoyancy and flotation. You know, this buoyancy and flotation, this subject, this particular chapter, it is you have gone through in your intermediate level when in physics. So today we will be discussing about the buoyancy and flotation. So let us start. Before this discussion, I would like to say that this is Dhiraj Mandal, Assistant Professor, JS College of Engineering. And if you want to connect me, this is my YouTube channel, DM Study Center. Okay, to get everyday notification and the notice your PDF file notes, you can connect me in the Telegram channel, also the Facebook channel, and email ID contact number also given. So feel free to contact me anytime. Okay, so I would like to thank JIS College of Engineering that they call their total whole group, they are taking this initiative through this online mode, so that the student will get benefit and will get benefited. As in this pandemic situation we are not able to connect to student physically, so this is the initiative from JS College of Engineering, and all the faculties are taking the classes through this online mode. So let us start the lesson. So first of all, I would like to say that this it is this, whatever the discussion will be done, that this discussion, it is coming under the module number 2, fluid static. So this fluid static means when the fluid is at rest, then we will be starting about the fluid. So now these are the discussion which already I have discussed in the last class. Vertical plane surface submerged in the liquid. Okay, then horizontal plane surface submerged in the liquid, then inclined plane surface submerged in liquid. Also the derivation also it was discussed. Curved surface submerged in liquid. Now this is your buoyancy. Okay, the next is your buoyancy and flotation. So what do you mean by buoyancy? First of all, I would like to say that in this chapter, the equilibrium of a floating body and submerged body, floating body and submerged body. So equilibrium of a floating body and submerged bodies will be considered. Thus the chapter will include buoyancy, center of buoyancy CB, metacenter M, metacentric height, analytical method for determining the metacentric height, condition of equilibrium of a floating and submerged body, and experimental method for metacentric height will be discussed here. So let us discuss what do you mean by buoyancy. You know that buoyancy in Bengali, you can say the plobota. Okay, buoyancy and means your, what do you mean by buoyancy? When a body is immersed, when the body is immersed in a liquid, an upward force is exerted by the fluid on the body. Again I am telling you, when a body is immersed in the fluid, an upward force is exerted by the fluid on the body. This upward force is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by the body, and is called the force of buoyancy, or simply buoyancy. If it is not clear, then you just see this body. This is a body. Now this body is floating, and when the body is sinking, two body you can see. Now when the body is immersed, immersed means some part is your inside the water, some part is outside the water. Submerged means total all the body is inside the water, and sink means it is at the ground level of the water. That means I want what is the difference between immerse, submerge, and sink? Means is immerse means the body is floating here. Some part is come outside the water, some part is inside. Now when it is submerged, that means your submarine, like submarine, that means it is inside the water. The submarine is coming, but it is not coming to the ground level of the water. But when it is sink, then ডুবে যাওয়া, ঠিক আছে, that means it is totally the body, there is nothing, any kind of buoyant force will not act on the body, just it is a dead body, and like it is it will be placed in the down ground level of the water. Okay, so when the body is immersed in a fluid, an upward force, this is your upward force, an upward force, you can see an upward force is basically exerted by the fluid, exerted by the fluid on the body. This upward force is equal to the weight of the body, whatever the buoyant force is occurring. Okay, weight of the body and upwards. Okay, weight of the, that means weight of the displaced body, displaced by the body, weight of the water displaced by the body. Okay, so again I am telling you, the some upward force is applying on the body when the body is floating. This is a upward force, this is your buoyant force Fb. Okay, this upward force is equal to the weight of the fluid, weight of the fluid, that means this much amount of fluid is displaced by the body. So weight of the fluid displaced by the body and is called the force of buoyancy and or simply buoyancy. Clear? Weight, not weight of the body, weight of the displaced fluid. Okay, weight of the displaced fluid is equal to buoyant force. Okay, so I think it is clear. Now let us discuss about the center of buoyancy. What do you mean by center of buoyancy? Center of buoyancy is defined as the point through which the force of buoyancy is supposed to act. Okay, we are just, let us consider this is a body. Now this center of gravity is lying somewhere in the middle portion. Let us consider center of buoyancy B, it is here. So basically center of buoyancy is defined as a point through which the force of buoyancy Fb, the force of buoyancy is supposed to act. As the force of buoyancy is a vertical force and is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by the body, the center of buoyancy will be the center of gravity of the fluid displaced. So is it clear? This is your center of buoyancy and it is always acting vertically upward. And let us consider the body is submerged, like immersed like this. So this amount, you can see this amount of volume is displaced by the body, volume of water is displaced by the body. So that weight of that particular displaced water is equal to the buoyant force Fb. Okay, so center of buoyancy is defined as the point through which the buoyant force is supposed to act. As the force of buoyancy is a vertical force, you know that this is your vertical force and is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by the body, the center of buoyancy will be the center of gravity of the fluid displaced. Okay, now center of buoyancy here, basically this is your body. Now let us consider center of gravity here. Now this is your, now if it is your water like this, so what we can say, if it is your total body which is displaced. Now middle portion, that means if I am dividing by 2, then this point is called your B, and this is your center of buoyancy. Okay, so in the displaced body, the middle portion, this is your center of buoyancy. Clear? I think it is clear. Now let us discuss the, here basically this is a body, you can see this is a body, center of gravity is lying here, and it is your center of buoyancy. Okay, in the same way the gravity can be through, that means you can see here basically the weight of the body is moving down, that means you are acting downward and the buoyant force is acting upward. Now what do we mean by meta center? What do we mean by meta center? So basically meta center is a measure of a body. Here basically what happened, it is defined as the point about which a body start oscillating. Let us consider the body, it is the body and it is floating in the water, and if I am applying a little bit force on the body, you will see the body is tilting like this. Okay, the body is tilted like this. Okay, now basically meta center is defined as a point about which, let us consider with respect to this point the body is tilted. So meta center is defined as a point about which the body starts oscillating when the body is tilted by a small angle. So when the body is tilted by a small angle, okay, so that point with respect to this point M, if the body is rotating, that point is your meta center. Okay, and AM to B, it is your that means it is your metacentric height. Okay, so in this figure it is clearly shown that this is your center of buoyancy, this is your center of gravity. Now I have applied some force here, so the body is tilted and it is rotating and tilting with respect to this point M. Okay, so it is a point about which the body start rotating. With respect to this point M, the body start oscillating. Okay, the meta center may also be defined as the point at which the line of action of the force of buoyancy will meet the normal axis of the body when the body is given a small angular displacement. See, again I am telling you, meta center also it can be defined as the point, a point at which the line of action of the force of buoyancy. Here basically this is your line of action of the force of buoyancy, isn't it? This is your line of action of the force of buoyancy FB. Now when the body is tilted, then what happened? This is your meta center. Right now let us consider this is your meta center, but when it is tilted, then this is your now you will see that the line from the meta center you can draw a line, and this B point B will be shifted to B1. Clear? So point B will be shifted to B1 here. So line of action of the buoyant force will be traveling through this metacentric point. Okay, so that is why metacentric may also define as the point at which the line of action of the force of buoyancy will meet the normal axis. This is your normal axis, this is your normal axis. Now when it is tilted like this, then you will see that normal axis is this, and this is your metacentric height, meta center, and this is your B1, that is your force of buoyancy will act like this, and where the normal axis and center of buoyancy line of action of the buoyant force and the normal axis meeting, that point is called your meta center. Clear? Next, now if I am talking about the metacentric height, so there is a calculation that calculation, the derivation is not in your syllabus. So that is why just remember the body, when the body this is a body, and when it is your, this is your center of gravity, this is your center of buoyancy. Now when it is rotating, the body will be like this, okay, and this is a small strip is taken. So here basically by the help of the equation, okay, some moment principle of moment theory we will be talking about, okay, by the help of couple we can say that the metacentric height gm is equal to I by v minus bg. What is I is the moment of inertia, okay, and the v is the volume, bg is what? So here in this the bg means your, you can see this is your distance bg, okay, this distance bg. So what we can write? I can write metacentric height gm is equal to moment of inertia I by volume minus b into g. Clear? So volume of the fluid displaced by the body, that is your v. Clear? So volume volume of the body submerged in water, that means how much amount of the body, what is v? Volume of the volume of the body submerged in water is called your v, and I is the moment of inertia. So remember, and bg is the distance between center of buoyancy and center of gravity. Clear? So this equation will be very important for your when you are going to solve the numerical, this equation will be required. Clear? So this is the equation, volume of the body submerged in water, then your moment of inertia of the body about y axis. Remember about y axis, not x axis, okay. Next come to the next point, that is your stability of the immersed and floating bodies. So we will be talking about the stability of the floating body. देखो here basically stability, basically why it is required? When the particular ship, a particular ship is flowing from one point to another point, the ship is coming, then the equilibrium is very necessary. Otherwise if it is tilting, or if it is you are flipping that particular ship, the ship is right now, this one is your ship. Now if it is tilting, and you will see that like this, so the lacks of, that means you can see that a ship is basically carrying lot of people, lot of goods, so that will be waste of money and waste of human beings. So that is why you need to know that that means what are the parameter, what are the limitation, that why that means how we can maintain that that equilibrium condition, okay. So condition of equilibrium of a floating and submerged body will be discussed here. So let us consider basically submerged body of a fluid floating body. A submerged body or a floating body is said to be stable if it comes back to its original position after a slight disturbance. That means, let us consider this is a body. Now in case of stability of the immersed body, you can see this diagram is as a reference. Here what happened? This is the part where the weight of the body is more, this is the part weight of the body is less. Now what happened? Mathematically the center of gravity will lie somewhere. If it is a body and this part is heavier, then center of gravity will lie somewhere here g, isn't it? And center of buoyancy, I am just considering the center of buoyancy is lying somewhere here. So from the center of buoyancy, what happened? Fb, center of buoyancy, for say buoyant force will be acting, and from the center of gravity the weight of the body is acting, weight W. Now what happened if the body is tilted or little little for force applied on the body. So what will happen? You will see that the body is tilting like this with respect to the metacenter, isn't it? But you see that there is a couple is generated from the center of gravity. Some weight is acting downward, or you can say it is acting in the anti-clockwise direction, and from the B point, the because of the buoyant force, the body is also acting in the anti-clockwise direction, so that ultimately the final position will be like this. That means the body will not what we can say inverted, not be inverted because of this particular position of the center of gravity. So this is one kind of stability of the immersed body. Okay, stability, example of stability of the immersed body. Now if the body is like this, then the center of gravity will lie above the center of buoyancy, isn't it? So here the center of gravity is lying above the center of buoyancy. Now if I am applying some force on the body, then the body is tilting, will be tilted, and the weight of the body will be acting through this point, and there is a center of buoyancy which will be acting through this point B. So you will see there is a couple will be generated, and there is a tendency to rotate the body. So this is the condition of instability. Okay, so you will see that the body will rotate, or body will flipped, or body will inverted, will be inverted position. Okay, so this is the example. Similarly, if I am talking about a circular point, then there's buoyancy, center of buoyancy and center of gravity will lie in the same point. So it is the neutral equilibrium. It is the example of neutral equilibrium. I hope it is clear. Basically, the relative position of the center of gravity and center of buoyancy of a body determines the stability of the submerged body. So where is the relative position? You can see here the relative position. That means for stability, center of gravity must lie below the center of buoyancy. Am I right? So for stable equilibrium, center of gravity of a body must lie below the center of gravity. For unstable equilibrium, the center of gravity must lie above the center of buoyancy. So this is very important point, and it is it will be coming in MCQ, that what is the condition for stable equilibrium. So some confusionous option will be given to you. You have to solve the answer. Okay. So it is all about the submerged body. Okay, stability of a submerged body already I have discussed. This one is your stability of the submerged body. But if I am talking about the stability of the floating body, okay, so here for a stable condition, W is equal to FB in case of submerged body. For unstable condition, W is equal to FB, and B should be above the G. Okay, so what is the condition for stable equilibrium for a submerged body? W should be FB, force of buoyancy, and force of center of the buoyancy, buoyant point. Okay, center of the buoyancy, that is your B, should be above the center of gravity. Okay, center of buoyancy should be above the center of buoyancy. So that is the condition. Clear? Now for unstable equilibrium, weight of the body, weight is equal to FB, W is equal to FB, and G should be above B. So G should be above B. Clear? So this is the condition for unstable equilibrium. Am I right? If W is equal to FB, but center of buoyancy is below the center of gravity, The body is in unstable equilibrium. This figure already it is shown in this figure. Okay. Now if it is neutral equilibrium, then your FB is equal to W, and B and G are at the same point. B and G are at the same point. Clear? Let us discuss the stability of a floating body. So if I am talking about the stability of a floating body, so this diagram is very important. Here you can see basically the stability of the floating body is determined from the position of the metacenter M. Okay, in case of floating body, the weight of the body is equal to the weight of the liquid displaced. In case of the floating body, the weight of the body is equal to the weight of the liquid displaced. Okay, then only the body will float. Clear? That means if the weight of the body is your 100 kg, okay, this 100 kg is the weight of the body. Okay, so in case of floating body, the weight of the body is equal to the weight of the liquid displaced. That means it should be minimum 100 kg of water should be replaced by the particular body. So that is why you will see that the shape of the ship will be flat. That means so that the weight of the ship and that means it can able to it is able, that means it will be able to displace the water on the same amount. Okay, that is why you will see that the round your ball made of iron, it is sink. Okay, it is sink in the water, but the 1000 kg of ship or 1000 kg of boat, it is not submerged or it is not sink. Okay, so that because of this phenomena the body is floating. Clear? Now come to the point, what is the condition for stable equilibrium? If the point M, here basically this is a body. Now when I am rotating applying some force on the body, this line of action of this is your neutral axis. Now the neutral axis will be shifting like this, then the center of buoyancy will be shifting here. Center of gravity never shifted because it is not changing with respect to its orientation of the body. So the center of gravity here basically it will be applying like this. So when it is meeting here, it is your M, isn't it? So line of action of the force of buoyancy and the neutral axis where it is meeting, that point is called your metacenter. Already I have told you. So if this body is like this, now the couple is generated here. So you can see the buoyant force, it is acting anti-clockwise and the weight of the body is acting also anti-clockwise. So the body will be coming to its original position. Okay, so this is the example of stable equilibrium. Okay, stability of a floating body. But consider that at the head of the body some weight, extra amount of weight is placed here. Okay, so this strip you can see here, it is your strip, here extra amount of weight is placed. So what happens, center of gravity will be somewhere in the upper portion, isn't it? Because it is not uniform throughout the section. So center of gravity will be shifting in upward direction and the center of gravity must lie below the center of gravity here. So if it is happening, then we will see that the weight of the body is acting downward and it is rotating the body clockwise, and the center of gravity, the couple whatever it is generated, that FB, it is again acting clockwise. So that what will happen, the body will tends to move rightward or clockwise. So as a result you will see the body will be tilted or the body will be inverted or the body will be flipped, isn't it? So this is the condition of unstable floating body. So here similarly, in case of neutral equilibrium, if the point M at the center of the gravity of the body, the floating body will be neutral. If the point M, here it is your point M, this is your point M, if the point M is at the center of the gravity of the body, that means center of gravity and point M will be lying in the same point, then the body is called neutral equilibrium. Okay, so what is the condition? You should know what is the condition. So first of all, for in case of stable equilibrium, already I have told that if the point M is above G, if the point M is above G, here M, this is your G, if the point M is above G, the floating body will be in stable equilibrium. This is the figure, it is showing here, shown in figure. If a slight angular displacement is given to the floating body in the clockwise direction, the center of buoyancy shift from B to B1. Here you can see B to B1, it is shifting, such that the vertical line through B1, cuts the M. Here it is cutting the M, isn't it? Vertical line through B1, it is cutting the M, and that M is called your metacenter. Okay, then the buoyant force FB through the B1 and weight W through the G constitute a couple acting in anti-clockwise direction, thus bringing the floating body in the original position. So for stable equilibrium, the M should be above G. Okay, ऊपर M रहेगा, नीचे G रहेगा, ठीक है. And same procedure for unstable equilibrium, M should be below G. M should be below G. So this is for, so this diagram you need to know, and if you are just you can imagine this diagram and nothing to that means nothing to remember, you just imagine this diagram, draw this diagram, practice this diagram, you can easily find out the solution. Now here in this point, here the one numerical is taken. A solid cylinder of 4 meter has height of 8 meter. Okay, so solid cylinder diameter is given, height is given. Find the metacentric height of the cylinder if the specific gravity of the material of cylinder 0.6 and it is floating in water with its axis vertical. State whether the equilibrium is stable or unstable. So if it is a circular plate and it is immersed somewhere like this cylindrical shape, okay, so we will see that center of gravity is the middle portion of the body. So this is the center of gravity, and center of gravity buoyancy, where it will be lying, the body, how much body, this much body is submerged, so middle portion of that particular body will be the center of buoyancy. Now this is your given, this is 4, this one is your 2.4, also it is given. Basically it is given 0.6, so this is your 0.6, that is why it is your what is 0.6? Height of the cylinder if the specific gravity of the material is your 0.6 and it is floating. Now you can see the depth of the cylinder in water is equal to what? 0.6 into 4, isn't it? So here you can see the given data, D is equal to 4 meter, H is given, H is equal to 4 meter again. Specific gravity is given 0.6. Now if the specific gravity given, then depth of the cylinder in water is what? Specific gravity 0.6 into 4 is equal to H. That means specific gravity into your your height is equal to your depth of the cylinder. Okay, so 0.6 into 4 is equal to 2.4, so that is why it is your 2.4. Okay, this one is your 2.4. Now distance of the center of buoyancy B from A, so the from B to A, what is the distance? That is your 2.4 by 2, so it is your 1.2. Now distance of the center of gravity G from A, so what is the distance? It is your A is by 2 and A is equal to 4 by 2 means your answer is your 2. Now what is BG? Now it is already have got all this value. Now what is BG? BG is this, and BG means what? BG is equal to AG minus AB, isn't it? AG minus AB. Now AG already have got, AG is equal to 2 and AB is equal to what? AB is equal to 1.2. So ultimately BG is equal to 0.8 meter. So find out GM. GM is equal to, we know that I by V minus BG. So can I find out I? I is equal to pi by 64 d to the power 4, and V is equal to volume of the cylinder in water. So volume of the cylinder in water, can I find out the volume of the cylinder in water? So it is what? Pi by 4 d square into H, that is the volume. Pi by 4 d square is, isn't it? So put the value pi by 4, okay, d is equal to it is given 4, H is equal to 2.4 square. Okay, sorry, H is equal to 2.4, that's all. So from this equation you can easily find out the I by V, value of I by V. You can find out value of I by V, you will be getting 4.4167 minus BG. BG already I have got, BG is equal to 0.8. So 0.4641 plus 0.8 is equal to a minus 0.8 is equal to what? GM is equal to minus 0.38. So this is your answer. So I think it is clear how to calculate. So these are the solution, and this question number 2 also it is discussed in the previous class. Next problem number 3, problem number 3. Here basically you have to determine the total pressure and its point of the action of the water level to the top is. So here basically total force you can find out rho G A H bar. So this is your rho G H bar. H bar you have to find out. H bar is equal to what? Center of gravity of the semicircular. So in case of semicircular surface, that's what is the center of gravity? 2d by 3 pi or 4r by 3 pi, you can say 4r by 3 pi, 4r by 3 pi. In case of semicircular it is given, it is equal to what? Water reservoir vertical gate opening is a semicircular plate, diameter is given, diameter horizontal sea level, determine the total pressure. So H bar is equal to, here basically center of gravity of the semicircular, so 4r by 3 pi. Apply this formula, you will be you can find out this is your H bar. So total force rho G A H bar. So you can find out the total force. Now in moment of inertia for base pi by 128 into d to the 4. This is the moment of inertia. See, you have to know that moment of inertia, and there is a in the subject basically in RK Bansal you will see that there is a column, okay, there is a table where the moment of inertia, center of gravity of a particular object it is given, okay, particular shape. In case of rectangle, in case of triangle, what will be the moment of inertia? If I am talking about the rectangle, then the moment of inertia is bd cube by 12, but with respect to base, bd cube by 3. It is I think it is well known, because in engineering mechanics already you have gone through, na? In case of triangle, the center of gravity will lie at a distance h by 3 from the base. Okay, so what is Ig? Ig is equal to Ba is cube by 36. What is I naught? That is with respect to base. What is I naught? That is Ba is cube by 12. Moment of inertia. Na? For circle, it is your pi by 64 d to the power 4. Moment of inertia. Area pi by 4 d square. You know. So similarly, in case of semicircle, the moment of inertia with respect to base is equal to pi by 128 d to the power 4. Remember. So depth center of the pressure is equal to this equation I base by A is bar. So ultimately 0.88 meter is the answer. So this is all about the answer. Problem number 4, same process, solve it in your home and submit to me as assignment. This is your assignment on theory, and this is your assignment on numerical. Okay, solve this numerical religiously, solve the problem, go through the book R.K. Bansal thoroughly. If you are having any doubt, any question, then you can ask me in the comment section. Also you can mail me, or you can WhatsApp me. Okay, so today up to this, thank you for listening. Jai Hind.